Hi, it's Randall with Carter Hill Honeybees. Today's July 19th, 2021. We had a couple hours of sunshine earlier today, but it's been misty and raining, light rain all afternoon. It's kind of damp. Grass is wet right now. But I pulled in a few minutes ago, and much to my surprise, I have a big swarm hanging right here. And incidentally, it's right there on one of my little lures I have out here. Now I know I've done several swarm videos, but I'm going to take this opportunity and I'm going to try an experiment. This box down here's got some bees in it. I pulled honey off of it about a week ago. It appears that they either swarmed or superseded, and a virgin queen got through the excluder. Maybe she couldn't get back through, but she was not mating, and she turned into a drone layer, and that's the brood I saw in there, and it was all above the excluder. And I kind of earmarked this hive, and I was going to come back in a few days and get it. So I'm going to, there's quite a few bees still in there, so I'm going to just install this swarm in there and see what happens. I feel like it'll be okay. I'm just going to take this opportunity to try that as well. And also the combs is already drawn out. And there's a decent amount of honey in there, and I won't have to be in such a rush to get them fed. We'll get some gloves on because I don't know how agitated these bees are going to be. Get the top off of this and we'll get started. I don't normally use a smoker when catching a swarm, but these bees here, being queenless, they're pretty agitated and stirred up. So I'm going to smoke these in. One thing I'm hoping that will happen here, I've kind of got to hurry because we're about to run out of daylight. I'm going to try to create so much confusion with the smoke and the bees everywhere that they'll just kind of go in and combine without much fighting. As you can see, there's absolutely no brood here. I normally don't smoke a swarm like this, but they're wet and it's right at dark. They're not going anywhere. So I got my smoker in a better situation now, so I'm going to just try to create a lot of confusion with the smoke, kind of like you do with sugar syrup. I've never done this before, so I'm going to take this opportunity to try this. And since it's wet, it's right at dark, these bees are not going anywhere, so I'm going to smoke them up a little bit. Other thing, I don't know how ill they are, being it's wet and they can't fly. This is a good swarm of bees right here. Well, so far they're really gentle. They're not coming out of there at all. They're really moving lethargically in there, but they are putting off their pheromones, so that's a good sign. I'm going to try to run these off the limb. I can smell Nasonoff pretty good now. But you see, they're just pretty much behaving like a regular swarm. They're throwing off the Nasonoff. Now, I'm not calling this a success yet because we're not going to know the answer to that for a few days. But I've had some bees spill over the back, so I'm trying to get those motivated to move around to the front. I want to get this medium back on here. I am being a little aggressive, trying to hurry because we're running out of daylight quickly. All right, it's 2 days later, so this is the swarm I caught. I dumped the bees in here on the colony that had the drone laying queen. They seem to be working pretty normally. There's bees fanning, everything looks normal. Well, I don't normally do this, but since we're kind of running an experiment, and I just kind of want to see if possibly the queen might be laying in here already. We'll go ahead and open this up. I don't normally open a swarm after 2 days, but everything looks calm and good. The colony looks a lot better than it did when I picked it up. There was probably still a couple pound of bees in there. It was either queenless, or the queen was a drone layer. I don't know if she'd already died or what, but I wanted to go ahead and just try dumping the swarm in here and just see what would happen. So far they've stayed, and they've took that swarm in, and probably relatively little fighting. And possibly one thing it might would have helped is the fact that I caught the swarm right at dark, so that give the bees all night to kind of get settled in before they could even think about flying. Well, they're roaring pretty good, so I don't know exactly what that's going to mean. I'm thinking I'm seeing eggs in there, but I'm trying to be sure in some of this darker comb, the light kind of shines off the bottom. I'm going to try to get another frame and see if I see the same thing in there. Yeah, I can see the bottom of that. There's no eggs in that one. And it may be even too soon for her to start laying. Well, I was beginning to give up hope. But the colony is queen right, but there's the queen. But there's the queen. So everything looks relaxed. She's not laying yet. I'm not found any eggs, but the colony's queen right. They look calm. They're not trying to kill her. So I'm going to put this back together, and we'll check it again in a week or so and see if we have any brood within. So far I'm pleased with my experiment. I don't normally open a colony on the second day after swarm, but since we're experimenting, we're going to try and see. Saw no evidence of fighting. The bees seem to be getting along well. The swarm looked like about 4 pounds of bees. There was probably, I don't know, a couple pound of bees still in here when I went and got the box. And I just dumped the swarm in there on top of it. And so far, they look like they're getting along okay. So we'll check it out again in a week or so and see what happens. But anyway, I appreciate you for joining me on this video today, and we'll see you next time.